Welcome, everybody. I hope you're there. I hope you're there. Why don't you jump on in, Mike? Welcome to the Golf Podcast Live, episode 112. That's episode 112. This is our Masters Contest edition, brought to you by Shape and Swelter. So, really excited to talk to you guys today about all things Masters on this Monday. Very exciting. We're going to wait until Mike gets in here. Looks
Well,
like we
I am
lost.
here. Can you hear me?
I can see you. It says MOI.
MOI. Mike?
Missing in action, maybe missing. Yeah, I could hear you. You're like
Oh,
a
good,
bounce.
good.
You're like a
Here we go.
bouncing circle. Oh,
There we
there you
go.
are.
I'm here.
Yeah.
We're
So
plagued with technical difficulties today, but here we go.
that's all right. Well, welcome to our Masters edition. It's our contest edition, brought to you by Shape and Swelter. Shape and Swelter is a great partner, and we're going to pick 4 people from our followers on X and on IG. So stay tuned. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Masters. Mike, how was your weekend?
It was great. How can it be bad with such an epic tournament to watch? I golfed on Saturday poorly at a wonderful golf club out here that was in summer conditions, so that was a treat despite my bad play. But having Sunday with the quiet house and the Masters on was unbelievable, and what a tournament it was! Like you know how some events go.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're going to be great. You know the venue's amazing, but you don't know how the play is going to unfold. And that story could have went half a dozen different directions yesterday. It was really epic. Right out of the gates, Rory doubles the first hole. We've
Yeah.
got a tie game, and the drama just continued to deliver right to the end. It was amazing.
Well, that's our winner. That's our winner for the Masters for 2025. Rory McIlroy, our Masters champion. Pretty incredible with what he's done. There's so much historical significance to what has happened. Um, Before we get into that directly, I just want to thank Shape and Swelter for this contest. We're going to be doing this giveaway, and they're basically a band that goes into your hat, and it makes your hat feel new, and it keeps you from sweating. It's fantastic. Mike, tell us a little bit about the 3-pack we're going to send out.
Well, I've been wearing it in this hat, and I can tell you how much more comfortable this hat is. Um, Whoever the 4 of you, we're going to name you shortly, you not only are going to extend the life of your favorite hats, you're going to make them more comfortable for wearing them on a long round and protecting your head from the sun. It is a great product. It's washable, reusable, and you can cut it to fit your hat. It's well done. Shape and Swelter is a fantastic product, and we totally endorse it.
Yeah, we're going to be talking Masters. So thank you, Shape and Swelter, the golf hat, sweat liners, reusable and absorbent pads. So we're really excited to send those all off. All right, great. Now let's let's get back into this, Mike. I can't believe what happened with Rose, with everybody in the leaderboard at the Masters this year. It was pretty incredible. I was rooting for Rose. He really had the lead. He's had the lead so many times at the Masters. It's pretty exciting. I'm not the biggest Rory fan. I've said this in the past, but
Mm.
I respect this place so much, and the historical significance could not be bigger moving forward. This now completes his career Grand Slam.
Yeah.
He's only the 6th male golfer in history to complete the career Grand Slam. He's joining Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, of course, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods. Now, if we think about that, Mike, in that order, we're talking from the late 60s when Gary won. I don't know the exact year. And then Tiger won it in, I believe, in 2000, in
I think it was
99,
66.
99. It was like right.
Tigers 2000,
Yeah, it
because
was 99 to
Rory
2000, right?
25 years ago,
Yeah,
uh,
25 years
Tiger
ago.
So 2000.
Yeah. And so this is like a crazy elite achievement. We could say I was working on the driver range yesterday at Joshua Creek Golf Club doing a couple lessons. We had some good weather, and then when I was back in the shop, we watched the Masters, and it was pretty incredible. I knew it was going to be emotional if he wins. He's gonna let it all out. It's been how many years, Mike? It's been 11 years since the last.
2011, so 14 years since
14.
his painful loss. Remember
Yeah,
going on watching him on 10th tee yesterday. The crowd really cheered for him. Being there in person would have been a great experience. But when he hit his 3-wood down into the fairway in
yeah.
play, that was a big moment because only he knows what was going through his mind and what he's willing to share with us. But those the golf ghosts have a way of popping up in these moments. So that was a big breakthrough for him, just to get that ball down into play and getting through that hole. That was again, DeChambeau was starting to struggle. It was looking to be his tournament and just a cakewalk from that point. But that's when everything started to get really interesting too. All of a sudden, Rosie is in the mix, and it was just such an epic day.
Yeah,
Even
well,
Patrick Reed,
next to 1997. Do you remember? I think we were roommates back then, and
we
back in
were
1997 when I lived in Vancouver. I mean, that's when um, I could
we were all sitting
remember
in our
it
own
being
room.
as exciting. Pardon
We
me.
all watched our own TV in our own rooms. We're all screaming, and yelling. We're
We're
not even in
watching.
the
Well,
same
we
room.
went out to play pitch and putt that day. When we came
Right
back, we watched
afterwards,
watched the rest of
absolutely,
the yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, it's pretty exciting to see all that the significance of everything. And Bryson, I mean, it's certainly the most exciting Saturday I've watched in a very long time in
yeah,
recent memory. Anyways, the Saturday was just unbelievable with Bryson making that putt on 18. To get within two and
yeah.
so many great shots. Like, I mean, where do we begin with all these things? But I want to talk about the historical significance. And remember, stay tuned. We're giving away our 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 winners. We're going to be talking about Shape and Swelter and that contest. So stay tuned to that. But really, outside of the career Grand Slam, let's think of this. He's a Northern Irishman. McIlroy is the first European golfer to complete the Grand Slam. So that's pretty distinct as an
It's pretty big,
accomplishment altogether.
absolutely.
Um, and then that decade long drought. It's not since 2014. It is 11 years. It's 11 years. 2014, I believe, was his last major. Um,
It's a long time for a player of Rory's caliber. And someone like him, they're not out there for the money. He could have grabbed $500 million and went over to live if he was about the money. But we all
yeah,
know his position on that. These guys want to win badly, and it
yeah,
gets in your head. Golf isn't. There's no guarantee you're going to win anything at golf. It is a hard sport, especially at that level. There's so many players right there behind you to knock you out of the way, and he's had some heartbreaking losses, and the back nine ghosts of Augusta National. They have a way of appearing and seemingly to get in the way. So what he did yesterday, it was not easy. Um, he lost. You all know how it is. You go on to the first hole, even just a casual game of golf, and you make a double or triple on the first hole. It's frustrating. I've done that in tournament play myself in amateur tournaments where you walk off with a triple or quad on the first hole and you just want to go to the car uh,
yeah.
and take
Yeah,
off.
it's a crazy double. And then there's the water balls that happened. And then, there's the fact that Rose makes that putt on 18. He even had
Yeah,
the lead at one point where he got the lead back at 11 under, where Rory was at 10 under. It was quite dramatic. It was a roller coaster, to say the least. And yeah, it just shows, I think he needed the mental fortitude and he was never ready for it to complete, the Grand Slam, because so much, it was, he had these demons on his back. It was like a monkey on his back. Everybody was asked. Imagine for being asked the same question for 11 years, over and over again. Every time you return to the Masters,
Yeah.
and then being the spokesperson and the ambassador for the PGA Tour while Live happened.
Hmm.
Um,
That was a big distraction for him, and I was happy when he backed off of that role and decided to focus more on his
yeah,
game.
absolutely.
And look what's happened. He's got a couple big wins under his belt and a green jacket. You can't go wrong. Sometimes it's better just to stay in your lane and stay away from the politics of the sport or politics in general, and just do your thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's back to that. So what's going to happen from here is the question: is he going to cool off for a while and we don't hear anything, or is he going to take off running? The next few majors all stack up in his advantage. Of course,
Well,
he's
we're looking at Quail Hollow, where
yeah,
somewhere where he historically has played very well, for the PGA Championship happening in May. So that's pretty exciting, to see that. I mean, he's no longer going to think about, like, when you talked about, like, his collapse, and I think that's what you're talking about, in 2011,
yeah,
when he was 21 years old, and then he shot a final round 80. Um,
yeah,
so after 17 attempts, here he is. I feel bad for Justin because I was pulling for him as well. Like, either way, I'd be
yeah,
happy. I'd be happy with Bryson winning. It would mean a lot to the sport and the game. I'd be happy with Rose winning. Reed was nipping on everyone's heels too, not talking about him, getting zero coverage, except for
yeah.
maybe his hole out on, like, what was it,
He was
on
at
17 or
17.
yeah, that was, didn't know it was in.
Well,
Um,
Scheffler was making a charge, and
if he
there was
made some putts, yeah, Scheffler needed to make some putts, and we got to give a thumbs up to Corey Connors. What a tournament!
yeah, yeah. He didn't have his best Sunday, but he was in the mix, and that's going to give him some experience, and hopefully we see him break through. But Schauffele got it back. Even Zach Johnson on Saturday had a
Yeah,
hell of a run, and made it interesting. Jay Day was a part of the story, so there was a lot going on. And you're right, McIlroy obviously won. That's amazing. It's historic. Sixth player to have the career Grand Slam. Rose would have been fantastic to have had the lead in the first 2 days and lost it, and then all of a sudden he's got it again on Sunday.
yeah,
Uh, that big putt, and he's over on the range getting ready for the playoff, and Rory on 18 with a pretty stock wedge in regulation play, blowing it into the bunker. Right, I mean that had us all on edge, right? Because it was kind of like he bogeys to make it happen. Justin Rose is now in. You didn't expect him with. I think he had a 112 or something like that. He had a gap wedge or something in. Wasn't a big shot, and you'd think for a player of that caliber, you expect him to put it in the green. And that just goes to show everybody, especially us amateurs, that there's nothing taken for granted. You can hit a bad shot at any given time. Pretty good shot out of the bunker to have a crack at par, but still, you got 5 feet on those greens, 5 or 6 feet. Um, no guarantee of making that.
I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, there's so many moments, and I'm trying to encapsulate all of this in a short period of time, and it's probably impossible to do. I got to tell you, Brandel Chambly and Rich Lerner, and all the guys who are doing live from did a great job of doing the breakdowns and the historical significance of talking about all the players. I felt it was pretty fair this year. They including the live players and Bryson, and the importance of everything. Every night was exciting to watch.
Yeah,
The post game show and the pre game show. Even Kelly Tillman on the range, and uh, all the guys over at the Masters doing a great job. Even on TSN, seeing Bob Weeks do his thing with the boys, so it was really great. I enjoyed that. But the statistical rarity of McIlroy being the first champion since Craig Stadler in 1982 to win more than with one double bogey, right? That's pretty crazy as well. Um,
There's
but
four
I,
doubles.
yeah, that's right. But I think it's going to silence everybody. Just get everybody to shut up and stop talking about it.
That's
It will,
just it. You
yeah,
heard Rory's press conference. That's the first thing he said is, what are you going to talk about next year?
yeah, that's right.
That's
I
it.
thought of the same thing right now. I was about to say that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm sure everybody's partying back in his hometown of Hollywood, North Ireland, uh, and I think he's going to have a great year. Who knows what kind of run he's going to go on now that this is out of the way. I originally thought he would have to win another major because of the drought before he wins the Masters, and yeah, he really it was a tearjerker in a lot of ways. I mean, seeing him kind of fall to his knees reminded me of Ben Crenshaw, right when he won and fell to his knees and let it all out finally.
yeah.
The crowds were amazing. The footage is getting great, with the crowds, and I really, really enjoyed this year's Masters.
It was fantastic. I mean, Masters, like I've said, it's always something that's great to watch, but not always do you get a compelling event like that. Like that, that was I watched all of it right from 11 a.m. when the leaders teed off right till the end, and I, I was enthralled the whole time. Sometimes I get bored. Sometimes I've even fallen asleep. Admittedly, like the chill, tranquil environment of Augusta on TV. That's great in that material. But the
Yeah,
golf was so good. I watched right to the end. It was unbelievable. It's going to be hard to. I don't know if we're going to see another tournament this year that really grabs us like that. So
obviously, you know what? Yeah, the separation of live players and the PGA Tour, in my opinion, everybody's saying they're going to get everybody back together. I like the fact that they're only back together 4 times a year. It kind of we get our eyeballs glued to the screen, seeing how these players are going to really make a difference. Shout out to Fred Couples who made the cut at his age as well. That was pretty cool to
amazing.
see. But hey, this is our Masters Contest edition brought to you by Shape and Swelter. Mike, why don't you bring up
Well,
those contest winners up in our ticker so
I
we
will
can
do
get them
that
out there?
first. But there's an asterisk on this tournament this year. Before we go over to the contest, there is a
Yep.
huge asterisk we need to talk about.
Okay.
Taylor Gooch was not in the field.
All right. All right. Well, I don't know.
I'm totally joking.
Okay. I'm
Totally
like,
joking.
I'm like, didn't know.
So
I didn't know where you're going with that. Didn't know if it was a
yeah,
joke or not. Yeah,
it
that's funny.
is absolutely. So
All
okay, let's punt over to the Shape and Swelter contest.
right. So let's
Poor
pull it
lucky
up.
winner.
We don't have the drum roll music or anything like that. We could put some atmosphere music, right?
We
Oh, we put a
certainly
little
can.
bit
Let's
of
do that.
some down tempo or something like that. Uh, all right. Look, guys, I want to thank all of you for sure and for supporting us over the years. And we're going to do a lot more of these contests. I want to thank all of our partners. But our first winner is Audrina Garcia from Texas. Her handle is at Audrina Gar Golf, and she plays for SC High School girls golf team. Congratulations for her winning the Texas High School Regional. I think it's the first time it's happened. So that's our first winner who followed us on X. Mike, who's next?
I've got Nancy Fuji on Instagram. She's a health and wellness coach, a golfer, and a mompreneur of two boys.
I
Nancy,
like
we
that
will
term.
drop you a DM and
Yep.
get your mailing address, and Rob from Shape and Swelter will send you a wonderful prize package.
I don't know if you've got those prize packages close to you. I do not. However, we
I do.
will. Great, great. So I'm going to announce while you look for that. I'm going to announce our next winner, and that will be Jetson. Jetson is also here's another Texan. We love our people out in Texas. So Jetson from Texas, his handle is at SDE757, and you win a three prize pack, Shape and Swelter package. All right, you got them there. So he's a Spurs fan, a Cubs fan, and a PGA fan, and now he's got
Amazing.
these.
There you go.
There's the packaging
That's the
you'll be
package.
receiving.
Um,
And our final winner, our
this
final
product is
winner,
great for the non-professional golfers who do not get free hats. So that's what it looks like. You just insert it into your hat and it'll save it. So the last winner we have here is Kirby Painter. Handle K Painter underscore 6.7. So we're going to DM you as well. You're a private account, but we're going to follow you and DM you and get your address to send this package out to you. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for following us, and thank you for participating in this contest. And yeah, there you go.
yeah, big thanks to Shape and Swelter as well. So Audrina and Jetson, Nancy, and who was the fourth? The two winners on X, two winners on IG. You could always follow us on YouTube, obviously, and on Facebook, on X, and yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for everything. Thanks for following us. So we're gonna see you next week, and we're gonna have more contests, more special guests, like always. Mike, you have yourself a great week on this
You as
Monday.
well. Thanks everybody for watching. We can see you. Really appreciate it. Smash like, subscribe wherever you're catching it. It goes a long way. We'll see you next time.